build on my earlier speakers, and all of them alluded to the role of the private sector in different ways, in terms of at the state level, in terms of human resources, and lastly, Yogesh talking about the need to regulate the private sector. What I want to say is that if we want to talk about revamping the public health system, I think the elephant in the room, in a sense, is the extent and the nature of the private sector and the way in which it has really put its tentacles into the public health system. So one of the important ways we have to look at it is that there are many ideas of commercial enterprise that has already come into the public system in very many ways, whether it is provisioning, whether it is drugs and technology, or it is medical and nursing education, including the allied professions that Yogesh spoke about, and also Sundar did. So what and I think it's very important.
Dr. Rama, you can switch off your video since audio will be clear.
Yeah. Can you hear me clearly? Because I've now
very clearly, very clear.
There's a failure of electricity, so
it's very clear, Rama. Okay. Please continue.
So what I'm saying is that if you have to conceptualize the revamping of the public health system, we have to engage with the very, very diverse and the extensive presence of the private sector in these various subsystems of the health service system. And in saying that, I just want to make the point that the public health system itself, and it's very important to look at the kind of beating the public health system has taken, both in terms of its morale and its performance, because of rampant commercialization outside it and within it. In fact, Yogesh spoke about how we must ban private practice by government doctors. It's been a huge challenge. It's not as if states haven't tried it over time, but that has been resisted. But the other very important aspect of commercialization, in my view, is the contractualization of health workers. So, ASHAs are not just the frontline workers. There are many states where, in fact, doctors are hired on a contract basis. So the question that really arises is, so you start looking, you do not have that kind of engagement and commitment if you're on a contract basis. You're constantly thinking of which is the next better job I can get. So when we look at medical education, when we look at nursing or the allied professions, in fact, we've just done a paper, Archana Divate and I have done a paper for the India Higher Education Report. And when we looked at the data that we could put together for all these various aspects of education for health systems, we find that it is highly privatized. It was quite shocking to see the proportion of private to public, while the average in India may be 50-50 or 60-40. There are some states where it is really skewed, especially the southern and the western states. So when you have a highly commercialized medical and nursing education, what kind of public ownership of the health system can you really inculcate at the level of values, at the level of commitment, and even to imbibe a normative function of the public health system? So these are some of the issues that are constantly coming up. And when you look at diagnostics and drugs, today, much of it is in the private sector. So what I'm basically saying is, when we are looking at the revamping of the public sector, we have to look at it in terms of the power dynamics also that exists. You do find that the corporate and the middle private sector is able to influence policy at both the central and the state levels. And this has been happening for quite some time. So you have the public health concerns being discussed while the private sector continues to influence the direction of public policy. I just want to raise the issue of, COVID-19 provided us an opportunity to really revamp and strengthen public health systems. But if you look at the Niti Aayog reports for the last 5 years, you find that there has been a very systematic roadmap for greater privatization. When they talk about increasing medical colleges, they're talking about increasing private medical colleges, which will then partner with district hospitals and then provide greater capacity for medical education. Similarly, with nursing education and other allied professionals. So you find that the roadmap provided by Niti Aayog is really asking for greater foreign direct investment in health. You're talking about greater import of technologies for health. And you are also talking about the importance of building public-private partnerships. Both Sundaraman and Yogesh Jain and you, Dr. Antony, had talked about how public-private partnerships is not the way forward. But the reality is, in the power dynamics that is being played out, more insurance, public insurance for the poor, greater spaces for private insurance to come in, the importance of strengthening, and in fact, corporate hospitals today have diversified. They are no longer a phenomena of metro cities, but they have reinvented themselves, and they have created hubs and spokes models for really getting into smaller, lower tier towns and making their presence felt. So in all of this, the COVID-19 crisis actually shows us how in the moment of crisis, the private sector has largely gone unaccountable. And there has been no effort by the government to actually rein in the private sector, even in the case of a national emergency like the COVID-19 pandemic. There have been examples from other parts of the world where there have been short-term nationalization, like in Spain, of the private sector. So what I'm basically saying is that the private sector in India has come to a space where it is able to be in sync with the political class and the way it thinks. Of course, they need a public health system where the market cannot be responsible or responsive. In fact, it was very telling that when at the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, the statement from both the hospital groups in CII and FICCI was saying that we cannot afford to, convert our beds to COVID beds because we will lose our profit margins. Now, if this is the attitude of the private sector, even in the time of a national crisis, you start wondering what is the reining in that we can actually do, especially when they have been unreined. And the whole regulation story is one of power dynamics. So how do you bring that in? Of course, the Clinical Establishments Act was very important. It was fought for by many, many groups and progressive movements. But having said that, the resistances from the private sector were very, very strong. And we know the case has been extremely varied in different states. Similarly, the question of how do you regulate the corporate sector? Who is going to regulate the corporate sector? Is it the case that the corporate sector is very closely now allied and has influenced the ideology of the present government for greater privatization? So if all the central government apparatus is showing you for greater privatization on one side, and also talking about building public systems which will respond to certain kinds of crises. So we are in a quandary of really a mixed system which is skewed towards a privatization agenda, and the contradictions that it is going to bring forward, and the frustrations which many of us are dealing with. And how do you then deal with this situation? The other very important aspect, which I think needs to be highlighted, is there is and has been a non-profit sector in this country. There have been networks of hospitals that have continued to do very good work but they are also facing the onslaught of commercialization. Many of them, and I'll especially talk about the Christian Medical Association and the Catholic Hospital Association, that run number of smaller hospitals, dispensaries, clinics, and who are serving populations where there is a weak public health system and there is pretty much not really a private system that is operating. And what has happened over time is that they have been forced to close down because they don't have the kind of funds or the competition with the private sector to survive. And I think there are larger hospitals in the non-profit sector that have actually transformed and commercialized themselves. And if you see many of them today, they resemble the corporate hospitals. So I think the power of market, the power of an untrained private sector has actually distorted our possibilities of one, strengthening public systems. Yes, we can continue to strengthen and fight for strengthening of public systems. But all I'm saying is the markets seem to pose limits on that. And I think it's very important to recognize that as we fight for strengthening public systems. Thank you very much.